I'm Hugh Mangum, chef and co-founder of Mighty Quinn's Barbecue here in New York City, and here are 6 must-try items at our restaurant. Our brisket is all natural Angus. We season it liberally. There's a little paprika in the rub, and then we smoke it for about 18 to 22 hours, depending on the brisket. It's very simple. There's no hidden tricks here. You know, brisket in general is one of the toughest cuts of meat to smoke properly. It's got a lot of intermuscular fat, and it's also 2 muscles that are meeting, which is the point and the flat of the brisket. So you've got 2 different directions of meat essentially going across the grain in different sections. So our brisket is probably the single most important cut of meat at Mighty Quinn's. It's what built the house. We serve our brisket on its own because we think it should sing on its own, and once you get into it, it should be nice and juicy and moist. Crispy spicy chicken sandwich. Our chicken breasts, we dredge them with a secret dredge, and then they're fried. A crispy golden brown delicious GBD, served on a brioche roll, cucumbers, creamy coleslaw, and then chicken, and it's like you've got that secret sauce. It's all in the secret sauce. Basically, you're hitting all of the flavor components on the spectrum. Sweet, salty, spicy, creamy, umami bomb, crispy umami bomb. That's the new name of the sandwich. Burn ends are chunks of the brisket that we have removed and or cut and have been smoked once again. So they're double smoked, and then they're tossed in our house sauce. The burn ends are not technically burnt, they just have more of that outer bark. So I enjoy that smoky char getting met with that kind of sauce that reduces under the heat. So you have kind of like, you know, sticky sweet meets salty smoke, works out really well. Dirty fries. They're just our hand-cut fries, which are twice fried and awesome just on their own, tossed with some of the smaller bits of the burn ends. And then we hit that with the wing sauce, red onions, and then scallions. That was our go-to nightly adventure for our executive chef, Alex Stanko, and myself. Our plate of choice at 1 in the morning when we were closing down the restaurant, you know, with a beer. Flavor bomb. Flavor bomb. The Brontosaurus rib. So the Bronto rib is a full plate short rib, seasoned the exact same way as the briskets, and then they are smoked typically 12 hours. We don't sauce all of our meats at Mighty Quinn's, but we glaze certain things just because we think certain things benefit from that. And then we remove the center bone, and 1 plate makes 2 portions. Brisket built the house, Bronto broke the internet. It's massive. Each rib weighs a pound to a pound and a half of meat on the bone. It's a very unctuous cut of meat, fatty, falling apart like a braised would, and you can save the bone to fend off would-be attackers when you leave the restaurant. Pumpkin bread pudding. Currently we're running our pumpkin bread pudding, which is seasonal. We're using all natural pumpkin puree, milk, eggs, vanilla, sugar, cream, and spices. Our bread pudding is made with our brioche rolls. We toss that all together and let it sit, and we bake it off, and we top it with a cinnamon creme anglaise. It's our seasonal bread pudding for the fall and going into winter. It should have a nice crust on kind of the outer topping of the pudding itself, but once you get into it, it should be nice and juicy and moist.
Oh, yes!